So I need to make a confession, and it's honestly a bit uncomfortable because for the biggest time, I approached meditation like I was placing an order at a drive-through, fast food drive-through. I will have abundance with the perfect side of health, please, perfect health, and you might as well throw in my soulmate while you're at it. Thanks, universe. Because every morning I would sit down and with my list of meditations of what I wanted to manifest, visualizing what I wanted to receive, more clients, more money, more recognition, the perfect relationship, always more of something I felt like I was lacking. And so I was so sincere about it. I was convinced I was actually doing the work correctly. But something wasn't clicking. Like I'd have these small moments of manifestations, moments of connections, and however they were inconsistent. And deep down there was a sense of frustration, a feeling that I was missing something important. And so the thing is, I wasn't just doing it wrong, I was doing it completely backwards. And so what I discovered changed everything about my practice, my results, and honestly, it changed who I am as a person. And it wasn't about getting better at manifesting, but it was about stopping the whole manifesting mindset altogether. And I've spent over 6 years deeply immersed in Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, other manifestation tools and spiritual practices. I've attended 5-week-long retreats and spent hundreds of hours, probably thousands, in meditation as well. I've helped a number of my clients implement these practices in their lives. And so what I'm about to share is what created more transformation in 30 days than everything else combined for me. But I want to take you back to when it all started. I had my journal, and I had my list of manifestations. Okay, financial abundance, my perfect partner, deeper connections, surrounded by a supportive community, and of course the big projects that I wanted to land as well. And so I'd been doing this routine for months, like wake up, meditate, visualize all of the things that I wanted to receive, feel the emotions of already having them. You know how it goes if you're in this space. Some things were working, like I would have these random synchronicities. Someone would mention a book and the book would help me. And I would get maybe unexpected checks in the mail as well. Here is proof. See, like this is just like a small amount. But the real transformation I was seeking, it felt like I was pushing a boulder uphill. Okay? And what was really happening beneath the surface was I was meditating from a frequency of lack. Meaning that every time that I sat down to manifest abundance, I was actually broadcasting to the universe, I don't have more. I don't have enough. I need more. I'm incomplete without this thing. That is like trying to attract a lover by constantly thinking about, I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely. Why doesn't anyone love me? And so that energy doesn't exactly scream catch of the day, doesn't it? That is like walking into a party with wearing a t-shirt that says desperate on it. Like, and I had no idea I was doing this. No idea. And so, hey, what's up, my friend? Kevin here. Just a quick heads up for all the entrepreneurs and professionals watching this. If you have been feeling stuck, but you know you're capable of more, I've got a few spots open right now for my one-on-one mentorship. In this program, I'll personally guide you through my identity frequency mapping process to break through the patterns holding you back so you can create the results that you've been chasing. Whether that's more income, more freedom to spend time with your loved ones, or finally living the life that you've envisioned for so long. Now, I can only work with a handful of clients at a time to give you my full attention, and spots tend to actually go very quickly. So if you are interested in making the shift now, then please click on the link below this video, book a call, and let's see if we're a good fit to work together. Now back to the video. The mistake that I was making was that I was approaching meditation like Amazon. Okay, 2-day shipping on my soulmate, please. And can I pay extra? Can I meditate longer for it to be delivered to me much more faster? Like, seriously, I was treating the unified field, the quantum field, this infinite intelligence, like it was a kind of a vending machine. Like, do my meditation, receive my desires. And when it didn't work consistently, I thought I needed to just meditate harder, longer, with more emotion. And so another mistake I was making was even more subtle, which was constantly checking for results. When you check for results, that is like planting a seed and then digging it up every moment or every hour, seeing has it grown yet. Hey, are you sprouting yet? How about now? Now? And so what I would do is I would meditate in the morning, then I would spend the rest of the day looking for evidence that my manifestation was working. Did that person just smile at me because my vibration is higher? Oh my God. Is that email sent from the universe? And so I was constantly checking. And checking was creating more anxiety within me, more doubt, and more of that lacking frequency. However, the biggest mistake of all, I was making it all about me, my needs, my wants, my manifestations. And so I was treating the universe like it existed to serve me, rather than recognizing that I am the universe experiencing itself. And I feel like this is where most people get stuck, and especially when I work with clients, this is where they get stuck. Because when we are in that mindset, we can't see that you are in it. You are the universe. You can't see that. But then one evening, I was rereading a passage from Becoming Supernatural, and Dr. Joe was talking about becoming a creator of experience rather than the recipient of circumstances. And I was reading it like 20 times, like, what the heck do you mean by this? And then suddenly, bang, slapped me in the face. Hit me differently. There was this line when he said something like, when you give thanks for what you have, you're signaling to the field that you have more than enough. And that is the frequency of abundance. It was like someone had turned on the light in a dark room. Because I realized I had been approaching the entire practice backwards. I had been coming to meditation with my hand out, like always asking, always seeking, always trying to get something. However, what if I approached it as if I came to give rather than to take? Interesting, right? And so the next morning I tried something completely different. Instead of my usual practice, I sat down with just one intention, which was to contribute to energy into the field, to give gratitude, to offer love, to be a source rather than a seeker. No agenda, no wish list, just giving. And I started feeling gratitude for what I already had, not as a manifestation technique, but as a genuine offering to the field. I was sending love to people in my life, to strangers, to the world, to the universe. I was contributing energy to the field rather than trying to extract something from it. And then something crazy happened. The meditation was like unlike anything that I'd ever experienced before. It was like this depth of connection, this connection that just felt out of reach. It was just suddenly there. And for the first time, I wasn't thinking about what I could get out of the meditation, but I was just fully present, fully connected, fully there. And it wasn't about what I could get. It was about what I could give. And then something profound shifted in that simple recalibration. Because this was too significant to ignore. And I decided to do an experiment. For the next 30 days, I would completely abandon my usual practice. No visualizing what I wanted to receive. No checking for results. No wanting, wishing. I was just giving to the field. That was my new experiment. So every morning I'd ask myself, what can I contribute today? How can I add energy to the field rather than try to take from it? There were some days where I would just be focusing on healing energy to loved ones who needed it, right? Friends who needed it. Other days I would concentrate on broadcasting joy and gratitude. Some days I would just simply sit in meditation with the intention of giving my consciousness to the collective field. That's it. Like adding my voice to the universal choir, like that. But I'm gonna be real with you, the first week was hard. My mind kept trying to sneak back into manifestation mode. Like, okay, I'm giving to the field and that's it. So that means I'll receive more, right? When will I see results? What's in it for me if I give? And our old self is so fucking cheeky. For real. But I kept redirecting it. Nope, it's not about me. Just keep giving, no agenda. And by the second week, something started to shift. My meditation started becoming deeper, more immersive. I stopped watching the clock. You know what I mean? I transcended time. Sometimes I would emerge from these states and realize an hour had just passed and it felt like minutes. That's when it got really interesting. Because that's when you've transcended time. Because around 2 weeks in, sticking to this practice of just giving to the field, strange things started happening. Those things that I've been trying to manifest so hard began to appear effortlessly, naturally. But not in ways that I'd been visualizing it before, but far better, far more aligned with who I was becoming. There was one big project that I was trying to land. And out of nowhere, I get an email from someone who I worked with years ago. They were starting something new and they thought of me. And it was three times the size of the project that I had been visualizing as well. My health, I already consider myself like a healthy person, but my health improved without me focusing on it. Like my sleep got better because there was like less anxiousness within me. My relationships deepened, and the most surprising part about all that was I wasn't constantly checking and analyzing everything anymore. I was just living. I was just present, engaged in the world. Like one of my clients, Abhinav, like this is just a new story, like that happened last week. He'd been practicing this new meditation practice for about 10 days, and something unexpected happened. Because he used to serve in the military, and he was waiting for funds from his Provident Fund department for years, and he was using effort to try to get it back. And so when he worked with me, he had been doing tuning into new potentials for 120 days straight. Nothing was moving in the 3D. I'm like, dude, maybe you're doing something wrong. However, after shifting his meditation approach and obviously receiving my activations, he received a credit notification for just the amount expected he was owed. Listen to this, but with an additional $300,000, $300,000 on top of it. And he wrote to me, he was like, I've been practicing these new meditations for 10 days with amazing results. And he's like, I expected funds from this fund department that had been pending for years. And recently I was working with my consultant and I received a credit notification yesterday for the expected amount plus an additional $300,000. And he said that he felt so relaxed and so assured that he created a spreadsheet for the amount he received, and he would be thinking and feeling about what he would spend it on. And he was just thanking me. And so I'm not saying that this approach is some magic formula for getting more stuff. Like that would be the old self, the old paradigm, just in a new disguise, a new costume. What I'm saying is that when you shift from taking to giving, you align with the actual nature of the universe, which is abundant, generous, creative. And we stop operating from separation and start operating from connection. And let me tell you, that changes everything. That is like a whole paradigm shift. Because what's actually happening? Why does giving to the field create better results than actually taking from it? Well, this can be explained through coherence. Because when we are in a state of gratitude, appreciation, joy, love, wholeness, these are all giving states. But when you give from wholeness, when you give from love, nothing is taken. Okay? Our heart and brain enter a state of coherence, and it's measurable, right? Because in coherence, we produce a stronger electromagnetic field. We literally broadcast a more powerful signal to the universe. And that signal is saying, it's saying, I have more than enough. I need to give because there's just so much. I'm overflowing. It's saying, I give. It's not coming from lack, okay? Think about it like this. Have you ever been someone who's constantly asking for favors? Always taking, hey, can you help me out? Never giving. How does that feel, right? You probably start avoiding them, right? This guy's just a taker. Now, think of someone who's generous, gives without expecting anything in return. Well, we are naturally drawn to these people. You want to help them. You want to support them. You want to be around them. Well, guess what? The universe works exactly the same. It's not punishment and reward, it's resonance and attraction. When you broadcast a giving frequency, a generous frequency, you resonate with the giving nature of the universe. And that's when magic happens. You're literally aligned with the universe. You are the universe. But the key distinction is, and this is important, so listen carefully. I'm not saying give so you can get. That's manifestation with extra steps and like a hidden intention behind it. That's still coming from lack. I'm saying give because giving is who you really are. And I know deep inside you love to give, because giving aligns you with your true nature. Give because it feels amazing to be a contributor rather than a consumer of life. The results will come, I promise. But that's not the point. The transformation of who you are being, that is the real miracle. So how do you apply this in your life? Well, write this down. I want to break this down into practical steps because I don't want you just, be a spectator, but be an active participator in life. First, start your meditation by asking a different question. Instead of what do I want to receive today, ask, what can I contribute today? How can I give to the field? This simple reframe changes everything. Second, practice what I call blessing meditation. Instead of visualizing what you want to manifest, spend time blessing people during meditation. People in your life. Send them love, health, success. Send them appreciation, whatever you feel like they need. Do this without any expectation of receiving something in return. Third, when you notice yourself slipping back into taking mode, and you will because that's old patterns and they're deep, don't judge yourself. Just gently redirect. Oh, that's just old me again. Let me shift back to neutrality and then into giving. Fourth, you got to extend this beyond meditation. Look for ways to give in your daily life. It doesn't have to be just about money or things, but you can give with your attention, appreciation, compliments, acknowledgement. Those are so powerful. Those are powerful forms of giving that cost nothing but creates ripples of positive energy. And finally, the practice that made the biggest difference for me, at the end of the day, ask yourself, how did I contribute today? That's a great question. This daily reflection reinforces the new pattern and helps you recognize the subtle shifts that are actually happening. However, I want to be clear about something. This isn't about becoming some perfect spiritual being who never wants anything. No. Desires are natural. Goals are healthy. It's about the frequency you're operating from, as you move towards these desires and goals. Like, I still want things. I'm not sitting like in some enlightened state where I've transcended all material possessions. No. If someone offered me a beach house somewhere tropical, oh God, I wouldn't be like, no thanks. I'm like, give me those papers. I'm signing it now and give me the keys right now. Okay? And someone made a comment about being universal consciousness and becoming like a monk, and this is how monks are. Like, okay, yeah. But maybe the monks don't know the formula of clear intention, elevated emotion. But now, I am universal consciousness and I know the formula to create. So why not be a monk and still love materialistic things? So when you come from this place, you're coming from a place of I'm already complete, and this would be a fun expression of life. Okay? So simple. So what I want to leave for you today is, for years I'd been trying so hard to receive, to attract, to manifest. But it was only when I flipped it and focused on what I wanted to give, that is when everything I wanted started flowing naturally. Because I'd been focused on what I'd lacked, and I couldn't see the abundance of what I already had to share. So if you've been practicing meditation as a way to get something, to manifest abundance or health or your soulmate, I completely understand. Because that was me. And most of my clients. But what if you're seeking? What if what you're seeking isn't about becoming a better receiver, but about becoming a genuine giver? What if that's the frequency shift that changes everything? Because I'm curious, have you experienced something similar? Is there a subtle anxiousness with what you're doing right now? Have you noticed the difference when you approach life from giving rather than taking? I'd love to know in the comment section below. But you got to remember, the universe isn't something separate from you that you need to convince to give you things. No, you are the universe experiencing itself. When you give, you're not just giving something outside of you, but you're expressing the truth of who you really are. And that's the real transformation.